One thing before we get started, I want to ask Brandon, Will, and Jack to come up here for a second. You know, there's a lot that goes on out here, and there's a lot to keep up, you know, and the guidance that we all get from David and Jimmy. I think that sometimes it's you know, we don't tell them enough how much we appreciate them. And this being Pastor Appreciation Month, we just want to say thanks to David and Jimmy. Jimmy's not here, but we'll talk to him next weekend. And just how much we appreciate all that you do, even stuff that we don't see that you do. And thank you for allowing God to work in your life and allowing God to lead you, for you to be able to lead us. So, Brandon, any of y'all guys got anything you want to say?
We just appreciate all our work to do.
So, David, we got you a little token of appreciation to you. We're gonna do blood brothers.
We're covered in the blood, that man.
So, we want to present you with the Praying Cowboy knife.
We're going to turn it over to you. David, some other people got something.
Kids. Oh, kids.
Kids.
Oh, kids.
Kids have wrote you some letters of appreciation and got you this bag.
Oh, well, thank y'all, kids. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much. I got a bag, I can be more organized. I'm going to have to read these so my eyes don't sweat before we get started, all right? So I'll read them after church. Thank y'all very much. It is a blessing and a privilege to be allowed to do what we do. And I want to tell y'all, you know, it's 5 years. It's been a long time in the making. Oh, and I don't know if y'all tried these. These are the best potato chips. They're barbecue pickle. But anyhow, they're good. Anyway, you know, we started years ago, probably 20-something years ago, didn't know what this was going to turn into. And, you know, police officer, you have a lot of time, back then you had a lot of time to think on midnight shifts and stuff. But, you know, we kind of thought that God was doing something, and we'd meet kids and we'd give them an option. You want to ride a horse, you want to go to jail. And you'd be amazed the ones that chose to ride a horse. And, you know, we'd take them camping and stuff like that. And the dream was to one day have a place where we could bring kids like that, where we could bring not just those kids, but anybody. We have where there's a ranch that folks could go to. And the thing was, the stuff that was out there you couldn't afford, and the folks that needed it couldn't afford it. We all said, "Boy, Lord, if you ever grant us that, we won't charge a dime." And you know, we've stayed by that, and you know, God has honored that. Over the years, I remember starting the first official RTT meeting was in Don Shelton's barn. And I remember standing there in that barn and Mr. Don talking to us, telling the kids about cows and taking care of them. And it grew from that. And we've grown from, you know, we'll have kids that are in a little bit of trouble that nobody knows about. We'll have kids that are got straight A's. Over the years, kids have come and gone. I've visited some in the county jail, had some go to prison, had some grow up and bring their kids back. You know, and it's been a blessing to see so many come and go. I mean, you almost forget how many faces you've seen over the years. And God's not done with us. And when we finally realized we were doing RTT on Saturdays, and grandparents were coming out, parents were getting out, folks were hearing the gospel on Saturdays under a pine tree, we kind of realized God was leading us to plant a church. So when I went and talked to the association, I told them, we don't need another Wednesday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night church. There's one on every corner. What we want to do is meet folks where they're at, and it's kind of, I said, I don't even know that our services will be on Sunday. And when we started out, we didn't. Y'all remember we started out Sunday night, and then y'all threatened a live crucifixion demonstration. So we moved to Sunday mornings, right? So, but things change, and they're still changing, and we're growing, and God has blessed us in a unique way. And church planning, and especially ranch church planning, is not for everybody. It's tough. And y'all know that. Y'all free.
I'm not raised Baptist. I'm coming up.
Oh, wow. I mean, you already see. We got folks moving to the front. People are growing. But, you know, it's not easy. It takes a lot of sweat. It takes a lot of work. You know, things are a little different, but we've always wanted to meet folks where they was at. So I want God's blessed us with a wonderful staff with Jimmy and Stephanie, and they don't know I was going to say this, like I didn't know they did what they were going to do, or they wouldn't know how to speak today. But anyway, they said that's all it took. But anyway, I want to tell y'all, Jimmy and Stephanie, what they do, and they work here, but they haven't. Imagine going to your job and not knowing if you're going to get paid at the end of the month or not, based on offerings, and them doing it anyway. And when they find out stuff is short, I can't tell you how many times a mother of three has said, "You need to hold my check a little bit." Or when Jimmy's saying, "Well, don't pay me this month," or "Don't pay me this month." And like, wow, you know, it breaks your heart, you know, when you see that. So I want to tell you that using their own vehicles, going to houses in the middle of the night to counsel with people when a young goes nuts or something like that, tell them thank you and hug their neck and pray for them. And then our deacons and our deacon candidates, man, I can't tell you how many times I've driven up here on Saturday and seen them out here working. You know, out here working yesterday, and two of them drove up and went to working. And then the counseling y'all do, the Bible studies that get led in your house, you got a good bunch of folks. And just hug their necks, tell them thank you, tell their wives thank you, because we kept them out late for about 6 months every Tuesday night at the house. You know, but I want to tell y'all thank you. We're going to hear from y'all today. What you're going to hear today is the visions from them. I asked them about 6 weeks out. I wanted to hear their vision. I was the last one to talk, and those of you that know me, that's a hard thing. And but it was cool to sit in the living room and hear each of them come out with the same thing. And so I wanted y'all to hear them today. I'm not preaching a message today, so relax, okay? So we got to hear 4 of them and 5 of them. And he's going to preach. No, I'm going to wrap it up with the scripture. But we're going somewhere, and it's going to take work, a lot of it. And it's going to take dedication, and yeah, it's going to take money, and it's going to take effort, and it's going to take us reaching out where we're at. That's just how it is. And I promise you, if you want to know that, you know, if the Lord's work's being done, we're sure working hard at it. So with that said, Pastor Jimmy's not here. Devin's going to come up and share his, he had an organized, laid out spreadsheet. And we were like, who let him go first? You know, so anyway, now come on up, Devin.
We're going to start with an exercise. Carly's going to hold this up real quick. Now I'm going to tell you, what do you see?
White piece of paper.
A what?
A white piece of paper.
That's pretty good.
Oh, leave.
A what? What did you say? A hole in it. Okay. This is done in leadership training. Everybody sees the hole. Everybody focuses on the negative. And you're going to hear a lot of things today, and you're going to think really negative. Okay, you're going to think, we ain't got the money for that. They said that 10 years ago. When this started 20 years ago, when I was 5 years old.
Hey, are you 25?
Peggy Colton.
If you're 25, then 20 years ago, you would have been 5.
You're awesome. I focus on the negative a lot, and Jimmy will come home and he'll be so excited I will knock him down. So he doesn't need you to knock him down, okay? And I'll be like, you ain't got the money for that house. And I go, here goes my Saturday again. And I already worked overtime this week. Why do I got to work with you guys? But I'll tell you what God has done is amazing. And God's going to fill that hole. God, Israelites were at the Red Sea. He parted it. They walked on dry land. The 3 guys in the burning furnace, I can't say their names right, so I won't. They came out and didn't even smell like smoke. So all his negative thoughts, leave them out the door. We don't need them. Yes, sir.
What about Jenny in the well?
Jonah, thank you, Colton. Jonah, God can do anything, right? Right? He's kicked out of my class because he's too smart.
Hey! So why was about your grade?
All right, so Jimmy's vision is in 5 years, this is what the ranch is going to look like. And this is everybody, I think it's everybody's vision, not just Jimmy's. He just had the map stuff. We were out of printer ink today, so we got this cool drawing. So there's going to be an oratory, land nav, survivor course, and there we got a lot of military in here, a lot of Boy Scouts in here, Girl Scouts. This is an awesome event for the kids. They do it all over. People pay tons of money to send their kids this kind of stuff. They're going to get it for free to get the gospel with it. So that's awesome. And aerosol, nobody likes to play aerosol?
I do. I have airsoft guns.
Instead of going to Smitty's house, we'll have a course right here. Low rope course. That's going to be awesome because it builds up strength, builds up character. If you can teach them to do stuff physical, then they'll be able to trust in God and do it. Even when
So
they're
that's
scared.
the fun side.
This is the fun side. Right. You know, this doesn't have the fun stuff. Archery. You know, one day when the government takes all our guns away, we're going to have bow and arrows that can't take away all the sticks, so we'll be able to make archery. So we'll take care of that. Softball field, sports field, I'm sorry. Jimmy, if you know him, he loves sports.
I do.
I sent him to Baker School just to go find some extra income, to be honest. I told you need to go find something. And he ended up volunteering to teach soccer, non-paid, but that's okay. Volleyball court right here. And then we, of course, already have the arena. So there's a lot of stuff going to happen. But the good news is, you know, to make the orienteering land nav course, you don't need that much money. You just got to make up a sign, get a compass, and some great coordinates. So all this stuff is possible. and
Wait,
possible
what's
with-
the one? What's that thing right
He
there?
knows. We have a rule in children's church. You are welcome to talk. So he's just used to it.
Where's that? What's that small one that has like no right there?
That's your favorite place. That's the pond.
Oh.
Just making sure you weren't getting rid of that.
Yeah, no, sir. You can fish all you want. The
Why
other thing,
one is so small?
we're not going to make it any bigger, okay? Well, I don't think we're going to make it any. There's no plans right now to make it any bigger. But when you are up here, Colton, you can make it as big as you want. All right. He also wants to develop a leadership curriculum. We got a lot of young youth kids coming out, okay? And like David said, they've grown up from little kids to kids bringing their kids back. When he started in this program, he brought Gunner back. Our kids are youth age now, so there's a good investment. So we know we're going to have a core one. So he wants to build those leaders, and they're going to take the beginning steps class, despite their background. No matter what, they're going to have to start that class. He's going to develop a quarterly counseling program. So you all want to know how you're doing. Mr. Bill just went through that this week, where we tell you, hey, you're doing a great job or you're doing a bad job. He got a minus 20 out of 105. Not just he did. He got it. But he's going to teach the kids that, hey, you're not reading your Bible. Hey, you're only coming out here to ride a horse. That's not the way it's supposed to be. He has to generate youth fundraisers. We want to do a lot of stuff, so the youth kids are going to have to start bringing in some money to do this stuff. So he's going to organize some car washes, normal fundraisers, maybe horse shows, whatever they decide. And then 2 to 5 years, he wants the youth and adults to go on missions. Mr. Will really motivated everybody when he came back, and we think missions is something this church needs to do. He wants to start locally and then maybe go abroad in a few years. He wants to utilize the ranch for Christ-led camps, build cabins, canoes, basketball courts, the orienteering course, all of the stuff we just talked about. And then he wants to promote ourselves to the surrounding churches and Tampa-Palooza. That's a big ministry. Every summer they're here for hours and days. And they really lead a lot of people to Christ through this ministry. And you may not see it here. We don't do the altar call where we say, oh, 500 people got saved, but they come back. So God is really working here. And that's Jimmy's vision for the next 5 years. Yes, sir.
I know how like we can make the airsoft gun like field, like just like use the dirt around us and then just build like wooden things that you can hide behind.
That's a great idea, and you're right. That's very cheap, and we could do it this summer. You know what you should do? Hey, he's okay. Don't let him talk. He's going to be a leader in this church. Hey, Roger, plan give it to Mr. Jimmy, okay? And that's all I have from Jimmy. You can save your questions when he gets back. Thank you.
I didn't have no pictures. I feel like I need to go back and redo mine. A lot of stuff that Miss Devin said that, you know, I had the same thing. I want to see the family center done, the field, the airsoft, all that stuff that, as far as the ranch goes, to bring people. We talk a lot about, you know, and you hear a lot about, you know, all the gimmicks people come up with and stuff to try to get people in church. You know, we're like, well, you ain't got to use gimmicks and all that, but I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, other stuff draws people to Jesus, and that's just the facts, the way the world works. But we were blessed. There ain't many churches that have 50 acres. That's just, you don't see it. And we were blessed with more land instead of a bigger building, so we need to utilize that land, I believe, and draw people in. We reach people for Christ. That's what every one of us in this building is, not just for ourselves, but it's to reach the people that we love and reach people in the community. And that's one of the biggest things that I want to see within the next year is work on unity inside the church. Work on unity with us. I want to see more events where we're involved and we, you know, fellowship. A lot more fellowship stuff going on and everything. And I want to see us in the community. I really want to see us being involved in a lot of things, and be involved with other churches and doing the small mission trips, like Miss Devin said, but, you know, locally, you know, and even outside of the state, you know, and see where God leads it, and let God lead us to wherever He wants us to go. As long as it don't involve getting on an airplane, I'm good. The airsoft field, zip line, the low rope course, the cabins, all that stuff is great, because I mean we have the opportunity, like I said, to reach our community. We live in a community where it's really hard to reach people. I was thinking about it last night whenever I was going back through my head over things. We live in a community where everybody thinks they have Jesus. You know, we live in a community where we really need to. We're in a blessed community. We are. I mean, everybody here. There's no persecution against us. I mean, we're not seeing the stuff that other people's having to deal with. So, I think we should really be taking advantage of that. We should be in the community and real involved. I want to see, me and David, we've talked about it. Some of y'all have heard about it before. Going back to where RTT first started, I want to see that. I want to see where we're dealing with troubled youth, and, you know, we're bringing them in and investing in them. Not just another program that they can come through and then we kick them out 2 months later and send them right back into an environment that they're already in. But just bringing in some troubled youth and really leading them to Christ and investing in their lives and staying involved in their life. One of the things that I think God could really use, and we have enough law enforcement here that it's something that we could really do. I said most of the stuff that Miss Devin said, I really don't have much more. What Miss Devin said, that's all I have.
Today, you're probably going to hear a lot of us speak about the same thing. And that was what was so great about when we came to that meeting the other night. We all sat down. We all had the same vision. We all spoke about the same thing. So if you hear us repeat ourselves, we're not repeating ourselves. We didn't copy each other. It came to us through it all. So as I was preparing this week, trying to figure out what to say, remembered what we had talked about. But, you know, the story in the Bible, Peter walking on the water, Matthew 14, it kind of hit a nerve with me. Sometimes we lose our focus. We look down, we get distracted. But that was one thing. I just wanted us to remember where the church came from, and what our goals. Remember where the church was started from. It was started out as our youth program, and evolved from there. Goals for it to keep it going. One of the ways was to try, one of the ways to do that is through our fun shows here. I know it don't cost hardly us any money to get those shows going, but the money that we take in from those is we give back to RTT. That helps for paying for our staff, our feed, gas money going to and fro, picking up kids, and so that's one thing that we're going to try to focus in on, trying to build those up, trying to get out more. Get more feelers out, get more people coming in. While we're here, we minister to them. So it proves as a dual role. We're ministering to the lost, ministering to the ones that come, and brings in fundraising. And going forward, I like our Sunday school programs to start going where we can have youth Sunday school. If we have a youth Sunday school, hopefully we'll need more Sunday school teachers for the adults, because kids have to have their parents. Most of the time their parents are coming, so that way hopefully we can split up to a men's or women's Sunday school program. Third thing that we was talking about that I had was starting a maintenance fund for our vehicles, for the bus, for the tractor. We do have a 50-acre farm with a church on it. There's not, like I said, we've been very blessed with this 50 acres here, and that it does take, the tractor and the bus is one of the key roles here on this place. So we got to take care of them. That way it takes care of the property. So try to put some money back for maintenance on the bus. That keeps it running, keeps repairs and the tractor going. And we talked about the arena. We want to use that as an outreach for everything, anything from concerts to rodeos. We've talked about going forward, having a David, the word that we was looking for the other day was Day of the Cowboy. The fellowship, or the Cowboy Association, Church of Cowboy Association has a they have it classified as the Day of the Cowboy. They do the chuck wagon, cooking, a ranch rodeo, and Wild West shootout. Have all like Old West vendors come set up, and it's just the Day of the Cowboy. Come out. It'll be a ranch rodeo, so it's going to take some time and some planning and some money to do that. But we'd like to have that. That's one thing that we're looking forward to doing in the near future. But right now we've got to do a lot of planning before that. We really like to get the arena ministry going, where at least once a week there's something going on in the arena. Once we get the lights up, we'll have one event throughout the week, one or two events throughout the week. We don't want to tie up everyone having to come out here every night and every week, but we like to have one event in the arena throughout the week. We're proposing a healing ministry, which would be on Thursday nights, which is a roping ministry. We're not going to come out here and heal you. Our healing ministry is going to be our team roping ministry. So come out, let them practice roping, and while they're here, have a devotion, and we'll have that. And then on Friday nights, do a Friday Night Lights, which includes barrels and poles. Do the same thing. Have a devotion with the ones that are here, and just share the Word of God. And we get the bucket shoots going. We can do a buck out and have a devotion with them too. But the arena provides a lot of different areas that we can go into. Concerts. We have a new projection thing. We'll probably speak about it. So we've got the opportunity to do movies. We've got to find the right timing to do everything. We just can't lose focus on where we're going. focus on Jesus, and He'll guide our way. Now, these things are ideas, and where God is leading us. I've prayed about these, and I know God has a plan for all of it. So I'm just asking y'all to come alongside us and help us. If you have anything that you need to add or like to add, see us at church. Yes.
Can I say something else?
Yes, ma'am.
After we get the lights, could we have that group, that young gospel group that was up there the other night, that teen band, have that, pull that trailer in there and us do a youth?
They will be performing at the hayride,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Let's do a youth thing out here so that all those churches and we can, every week we've been to 2 other ones, let our church do something like that on Wednesday night for the youth.
Yeah, that'd be good. When we show them what we can do, like, we'll have a concert, yeah. That's
To
something
keep our
good.
youth in our community, that was awesome the other night, to see
Yeah.
so many young people living for the Lord.
Yeah.
We need to encourage that.
Yeah, once we get the lights up, we'll have another outlet there that we can share with the other churches, that we'll have more of a thing we can do. But that's coming. We're still working on that. We've got everything in place. It's just a time thing. Another thing before we get out of here today, I'd like to get. I know we've probably got everybody's phone numbers and names, but I'm gonna have my tablet in the back. If y'all just stop by and put your name and your phone number and email address in there, so we can either email you some stuff throughout the week, or if y'all have comments or something, y'all can email us. Just want to try to stay in touch with everyone. And if you throughout the week, if you get a phone call from us and you weren't here on Sunday, we're not calling to try to be nosy and find out where you're at. We actually genuinely care about y'all. So we want to hear from you. We want to know why y'all are not here, or we run into you at the store. George back there laughing at me. But we generally care. We'd like to know where you're at and make sure you're okay. We can work on that. We can, if we put it, I'm gonna put that back there in an Excel spreadsheet, so we can, I think we've got one somewhere. Maybe it needs to be updated. So we'll put.
We haven't had one since we were at.
Okay. I'll put my tablet back here. It'll be on the Excel spreadsheet. Just type your name. If you got phone numbers, just put them in each one of the boxes. Right. And we'll get that printed off. We'll get that because I can save that, and I can get that put in the computer and get it printed off, and we'll try to have something so everybody will have their phone numbers. They won't, and everybody will know be there. But that's my vision for going forward. Just gotta stay focused. Don't matter. We're gonna get distracted, but remember, God's got a plan for all of us. He's put us all here together for a reason. Everybody has their own talents that they can provide. So we've got a good group. We're gonna move forward. And it's just gonna take time. Hope everyone's in it for the long ride, because it's gonna be a long ride. But we're gonna be here. So that's all I have. I think Mr. Jack is up.
Brother David said that you couldn't lead from behind, but back here in the back is where I need to be. I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to ideas. They don't even have to be good ideas. They're just ideas. But before we can have a vision, you got to know what we've got. I only thought we had 40 acres. So we got 50 acres. And, with that, we only using like half of it. So, we got a lot of expansion that we can do right now. We got a pond, and we got an arena. an archery range, and a blacksmith shop, which me and Miss April, we tested out the blacksmith shop a couple weeks ago, and she's still not talking to me. Hadn't had no coffee lately.
Ain't good at the house.
Did you have to do some of that healing?
Yeah. He gave me something shiny to look at.
Yeah. Bad news. But, I mean, we have all these things here and everything to do it with, but none of that matters if we don't have the heart and the passion to get out here and do it. I mean, we've got to bring that. And we're utilizing a lot, the wood off of here. Everything that's built out here is built off of the wood off of this land. But with that, all of you that's sitting here, I mean, we're not utilizing you. Y'all are not being utilized. I think we need a program to teach, to learn more. We got a Thursday night mission. We got a men's ministry that we're starting, like the eat. But with that, we want everybody's participation. We got to have y'all coming in, and not only coming in, you've got to go out into the world and tell people. And we can stay in the sanctuary, and we're all safe here. But that ain't what God called us to do. He called us to go out and preach to the world. So this here is our chance to raise the kids up, to teach them about Jesus, to teach them about God, and to have them prepared to send them out. And with that, we're going to strengthen ourselves and each other to be better Christians, to be able to call ourselves Christians. And when we do go out, everybody will be able to see the difference. So basically, compassion is the blacksmith shop. I really want to get that up and going. I think to be able to show the kids how to build stuff, to make things, even at their age, 10 years old, playing with fire and hot stuff. It's still good. They'll be okay. Yep, you too. How to what? Build a fire? But that way when you go camping, you can have your gear, and we talked about it, to be able to have your camp stuff to set up and to catch fish and cook it right there on the spot. But you'll always have that, and you'll have those stories to tell when you get older. That I made this when I was a kid, and now, I'm old and I'm passing it on, and we're gonna continue doing it and build something. But everything out here is on a building and growing and structure. Not a whole lot of structure. But anyway, that's me. Everything that the other guys were saying, they stole all my ideas. Not really. I just try to keep it light. Anyway, that's pretty close.
Well, I won't apologize because you're going to hear the same things. We all have the same ideas, but I just want to say, man, look how far we've come. I've only got to see the last 2 years, but I can just imagine how the people are that's seen the ministry grow in the last 5 years. I can only imagine how proud they was. And I thank God every day for letting me serve with an awesome group of people as yourselves. Y'all work hard. Everybody's involved in some way or other, but we're going to get involved more. In 1 Corinthians chapter 12, Paul talks about the church being the body and Christ being the head of the body, and we're all different members. And to make this ministry grow, we're all going to have to get involved. And we're gonna have to get involved and work together to make this ministry grow, but we're gonna have to have the grace of God to go with it. But, I'd like to see our, I'd like to see us start going on mission trips, in country or out of country, whatever God moves, whatever place God moves us to be. But, the main reason for that is in Matthew chapter 28, verse 19, Jesus said, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey the things that I have commanded you. And I will be with you always until the end." Amen. But I'd like to see the mission trips start happening, and I'd like to see us grow our men's ministry. I mean, we're finally starting to do something with that, but I'd like to see us grow that more often. I'd like to see us use the arena more. God bless us with that. We've got an awesome arena up there, and we're going to use it maybe once or twice a month. I'd like to see us use it more. I'd love to see us have a rodeo or bull riding things. I mean, I know that takes lots, and we're working on all that, but I'd like to see us grow that. And I'd love to see us have a concert out here. I mean, like the one we had at Baker Arena was, I forget the guy's name. But I mean, I really enjoyed all that. And I'd like to see us as a church grow in our fellowship too. I mean, I think we should hang out more and grow in fellowship. But all this stuff we're talking about today, I mean, it ain't about growing the church. It's about building the kingdom of God and building members of this church. And if we get new members, then that's just fine, and we'll build them up too. But that's all I got.
Brother David, I'm not a deacon or anything like that. I just wanted to have one little comment. Everybody, at some various time or another, I've heard somebody out here say, "Well, I don't have service out there, I don't have that self-service." There might be a reason God don't let us have self-service out here. And I gotta share just a little bit with you, because we're reaching out to the kids in the world. That's our ultimate goal. We want to be Christ-like and share it with the children in the world. And there are children in the world that are hurting that we don't even know are hurting. And when it touches home, you start thinking more about it. We put Evan's girlfriend on the prayer list today. And she's a beautiful, beautiful 14-year-old girl. Plays softball like a champ. Just great little girl. But she's had some problems in her past with bullying. And apparently the bullying on social media got really rough on her this past 2 weeks. And she tried to take her life. And she ended up in the hospital for a week. And that, medically that's the way to go, but spiritually it didn't help her a bit. And I suggested to Scott that he go to the church and ask them if they have some kind of support group for kids like that need that. They need to know someone cares for them, and that's the biggest issue. So we've got a bunch of good kids out here. And if they know that there's a child out there, and hopefully in our community we don't have as much of that. She lives in Mobile, so it's big, But I hope that our youth can see a need and bring that need comfortably to the church, and the church be able to reach out to those that are hurting like that. That would be one of my goals for the future as well.
And one of the things that and I agree wholeheartedly with what Ms. Judy's saying, that's one of the things we've talked about several times. When we have the lights, we do want y'all here at night. And we understand, everybody's got different things. Nobody's going to be here all the time, and you got to be out doing other stuff or you're not reaching the world. But we do want to, when we're out there with the world, we want to bring them here. So that's the goal. We don't want to just change our activity. We want to get them in a walk with Christ that honors Christ and is in obedience to the Word of God. So that's what we're aiming at. But we hope to see you guys dragging your horses here. We hope to see you guys coming and hanging out. That was the vision, was a place for families and a place for those that didn't have families, so those that didn't have one would have one when they got here. And most of that we would invest in them for the cause of Christ, because it's a different world out there. You could go to a youth group. We have folks that come to youth group and stuff, and it's just like any other church. You can be involved in every youth activity they've got, and you can feel every minute. I talked to youth pastors that would tell me we got every minute organized. We never have downtime. And I'll tell you right now, from working with you, downtime's what gets you in trouble. It's hard. That's when the drama comes. But if you don't have the downtime, you never get to meet them where they're at. All you know is you filled their activities for an hour and a half, and you hope they heard something you said. I can tell you from dealing with adults, it ain't always they hear something you said during that time. You understand? And so we need to make sure that we are investing. If we do what we've always done, we'll get what we've always got. It's got to be where we are investing in people for the cause. Changing their activity is not enough. If we were to come out here on Friday nights, and we were to do Friday Night Lights, and they were to come out here and they stopped going to parties and they come out here, but we didn't give them Jesus, then we just wasted their time. We haven't changed their eternity. We've changed their activity, not their eternity. Jesus wants to change their heart. He wants to give them a heart transplant. That's what we need to be about. That's where we need to, everything we look at has got to be an opportunity. I want to bake a cake. Anybody got cake mix? Anybody got a box of cake mix? Let me have that box of cake mix. Who's got my box of cake mix?
I got some in the pantry.
You got the pantry? Well, I need it now. I did this analogy during the revival. My wife said, "We ain't got an oven." I said, "It's just an analogy. Cut me some slack." So I got this. I got cake mix. Can I bake a cake now? No, I gotta have a bowl. A what?
And the cream.
Well, I gotta have some icing. Icing will be good. Who's got icing?
She does.
She threatened to open it in the beginning. So, I got my icing. Now, I need, according to this right here, I need some eggs. Do I have eggs? Anybody got eggs I can have? Hey, look at that. We got eggs. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I need to give this carton back to Miss Tracy when we leave. It says here. It's an analogy, boy. Calm down. I need some water. Who's got water? Oh, okay. Good. Good. Got water. You gonna let me have this water? What if you get thirsty? You want to give it to the work, don't you? I got you. Okay. Well, what about oil? Anybody got any oil? Anybody got oil? Hey, look at that. Look at that. Now I gotta have something to put it in. Anybody got something? Well, okay. Hey, look. There are gifts we need, and there are gifts we don't. Right? So, somebody says, "I got a horse I want to donate to you. It's $35. No, thank you. I need something to put it in. Well, okay, I seen what Josh has got what I'm looking for. I got a bowl, I got my eggs, I got some oil, I got water. I can mix it all in this bowl. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. A spoon. I need a spoon. Who's got a spoon? Anybody? Look at that. Got a spoon. All right. Now, if I mix it all up in here, now our family sometimes we'll have movie night, and you know cakes taste pretty good even if they ain't baked. Did you know that? That's right. That's how you get an amen in the Baptist church. Now I got it mixed up, but we're not going to eat it like my family. What do I need? Oh, we don't want to thank you. We don't want to just bake one. I got another. Look at that. Look at that. Now, what did we start with?
A box of mixing.
Well, before that, we started with an idea. We started with a desire, and everybody had something to contribute. Now, somebody said they ain't getting my spoon. My spoon. I ain't getting it. We'll be mixed it with a finger, right? Here's the thing. It takes everybody to contribute to where God's taking us. And we need it to be a priority. Not your leftovers. Not if there's nothing else going on. We need the work of God. If you believe in this vision, if you believe that God has called you to this, and I hope that's why you're here, not just what can I get out of this? We want you to get fed spiritually. We want to build these deacons. I'd like to see us plant another church one day. But what? Because I think that's different. We'll never spend $1 million on a building. We'll use 3 hours a week. I promise you that. We're going to take God's money. We're going to use it for God's purpose. And that's what we're going to. And that's investing in people. That's meeting them where they're at. But we can't do it without you. And we can talk and we can clap and we can do all that stuff. But we need each other to do the work of God. When you get aggravated with me, I'm going to aggravate you. Hey, some of y'all been here 5 years. You know I'm going to aggravate you. You're going to say, why in the world did he do it that way? Ask him. tell you. We need to work together for the purpose of the Lord. And y'all, it means sacrifices. I mean, it means, we made a promise years ago we wouldn't harp about money, and we don't. And I've seen staff members go without pay because they don't. I've seen horses not get fed because they don't. We've about got all the horse feed donated from other people. But it takes money. Are you giving sacrificially? My son, I hired him. He works for me. He's got a thing. I told him this, if he learns something from this will be the best investment I'll make in the next 7 years before we kick him out. And it'll be, I'm just
7 years?
his first, there's a first portion, and I can't stand up here and tell you 10% is required. That's an Old Testament thing. I wish I could, because it'd make life a lot easier, and I know why preachers hang on to that one. But it tells everybody to give without compulsion. Give something. I tell them, you give first, you put some in the savings account, the rest of it's yours. But you honor God. It's a form of worship, and I haven't done a good job of teaching you that. Because I don't want nobody not to come to church who's talking about money. It takes, dude, you all grown folk, you know that. So, give. And you give till it hurts. I mean, the widow's mite, she gave the least of anybody, but she gave out of her lack. It's kind of the point where you realize, people say, I can't afford to give. No. When you want to be obedient to Christ, you realize, I can't afford not to give. And God's math is a lot different than yours. And He stretches it, and I don't know how He does it, and we've done times where we've given, and we're like, and I'll be honest with you now, she pastor talking where I told her, we can't do that. She said, you think that's right? Why you gotta get all spiritual on me? And we go ahead and give, and somebody show up on the door, on the doorsteps, and go, Lord wants to bring some groceries. And just break down and cry. And I wish you could tell you it's always been faithful like that. But I want to share a scripture with you. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing. You've heard from these men, and God is working in their lives. I've watched them, just watch them grow, and watch them listen, and watch them work through things, and some of their answers be completely different than they were 6 months ago, and just see what God's doing in their lives. This is one of my favorite verses is in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 6. And the wall around Jerusalem had been broken down, and Nehemiah had that burden, just like we had for a cake a minute ago. My son done, he's got a burden for a cake. He doesn't ask me to know. Dad, is that you? You're doing a cake and We're going to have cake at home tonight. And anyway, but you got to have that desire, and you got to have people to do it, and you got to have a vision. And the Bible says in chapter 4, verse 6, just like Nehemiah had that desire, he had to go find the provision. So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half its height, for the people had a mind to work. The people had a mind to work. And the thing about it is, when we work this afternoon, you work together. I call it a working fellowship. That way it justifies all the talking that is going on. But anyway, when we fellowship together physically, side by side, it also builds up the kingdom spiritually because you're working together. And I'm a dreamer. Man, God has given us a vision, and you look at it, I mean, there's some folks, man, if you waited till everything was in line, Israel would still be in Egypt. There ain't no way to explain. You won't find any church planning book. Go out to a cow pasture. Alright? Forget the little church you've got over here that have the padded pews, the flushing toilets, and the air conditioner, and the central heat and air, and the fellowship hall out back. Forget all that. Go find you a cow pasture and watch God build a church. You won't find a church plant book that says that. But you bunch of knuckleheads, y'all are like, yeah, let's do it, right? Because we believe God can do anything. And there's already good churches on the corner. Man, there's great churches out there. That's why I tell you, it doesn't break my heart when people say, David, I just don't think this is for us. I said, that's fine, but get where the one that is for you. Get there. I'm okay with that. But don't say, well, it just ain't for me. I'm still looking for a church. Oh, yeah, when's the last time you checked one? Next Sunday will be 4 years and 3 months. You ain't looking. You ain't looking. You're excusing is what you do. If that's even a word. Miss Price was here. Stephanie's mom was here last week, so I'll say that this week so that you can get her. But the people had a mind to work. Do you have a mind to work? Can we use your bowls? Can we use your spoons? Are you willing to contribute to what it takes for us to do what we got to do for the cause of Christ? What I want to happen is 40, 50 years from now, most of us are gone. No, but not most of us, but a good bit of us are gone. Whoever's up here, whoever's here now, whatever pastors and deacons stand here, they'll say, I'm glad them folks back then did all that work. Sure is easy on us. Huh? And hopefully they'll be doing work so adding to other churches and other ranches and stuff like that. Don't be limited by our own limitations. God's provision, God's calling, and the wonderful imaginations that He's given us, don't be limited by our perceived limitations. We're working for Him. I don't know if you know it or not, Jesus was a carpenter, right? He said He'd build His church. So good is the enemy of great. Good enough, good is the enemy of great. We need to look at this place and say, God, what can we do for you? And then be about that. And be committed to it. And it's going to cost you. And you're going to get tired. And you're going to give up another Saturday. And we're going to, be about the work of the Lord. See where God has you. Are you sitting on a spoon that we need to stir the pot? And I don't mean stir the pot in a bad way, but I mean to get the work done. Listen. Oh, I gotta cut it. What's up? We got cake. We can't.
You got a new knife.
Actually,
who's
you
got-
can't make it yet.
Butter? Oh yeah. We want on the back of the box. We need butter. Here comes the ball. Hey, and see, that's good. Thank you, George. I forgot the milk last time, but and that's the thing. And Taylor brought up a good point, because how many of you have gifts that you're sitting there going, well, they didn't bring it, so they don't really need my gift. Let me tell you something. There's a reason you're here. If you're sitting on the butter, speak up, right?
That's what he tried.
George's back there going, I'm going to keep my gift, and Taylor's over there, I don't know why he don't do something. That's an analogy of a Baptist church right there. This needs to be done, and somebody needs to do something about it. Right? Look. It takes us there. Where's the knife? Who's got the money?
You do.
I'm holding on to it.
Just throw it, roll it. I'll play. I'll play.
It's
a little bit.
Well, hey, God can take that and straighten it out, right? Alright, hey, y'all look. Today was a little different, but I wanted you to know where we're going. I wanted you to know what we're doing. Talk to your deacon. Talk to your deacon candidate. Find out what you can do, how you can get involved. If you got a talent, you got the butter, and you think we can use it, tell us. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that worked out that way. We didn't have that plan there. I'm glad you was hoarding the butter, and I'm glad Taylor spoke up. So, all right, thank you for the night. All right, let's pray.